Hello, all, and welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. I hope everybody's enjoyed their holiday season. This is actually the first video I'm making for the new year in 2018, and I hope everybody's 2018 is starting off pretty good. Mine is starting off amazing, with so many great possibilities, and excited all at the same time because great things are coming my way. And I'm sure if you're positive and ambitious and adamant about chasing your dreams, then good positive things are going to be coming your way at the same time. So I'm going to just have a little quick video today talking about the prioritization of making extra money. What does it really mean to you versus what does it mean to the well-to-do in this country and around the world? For a lot of people, making extra money consists of, oh, I made an extra couple $1,000s this year, so I'm going to buy a brand new car. Oh, I made an extra couple $1,000s this year or a couple $100 this year. I'm going to buy something, a new television, or a new phone or something that adds somewhat of value to your life, but doesn't really add value financially to your life unless, like I always say, unless you're making money off of that specific commodity. Like you buy a new car, hey, I'm going to be an Uber and Lyft driver part-time or full-time. You're making money. So that's, buying those kind of assets, that's considered an asset nowadays because so many people are utilizing those services. So, if you run a business, online business, then you need to have a decent phone that works, and that's not going to crap out on you because no matter if, you need access to that business on a regular basis. Excuse me. So when it comes to making money like that, extra money like that and putting it into products like that, that's going to actually increase your financial portfolio, then I get it. But I would imagine the first thing that doesn't come to your mind is, I made a couple extra $100, a couple of $1,000s, and I'm going to create a job. In this video, I'm getting a little political. I'm not coming at it from the left or the right. I'm just coming at it from a common sense place because that left and right side, it's like high school nowadays. So that's why I'm not even going there. No, I'm just coming at it from a common sense approach. Ask yourself a question. If I'm making more money, is my first thought, I'm going to create a job? I know that's not what my first thought is. I'm thinking about either what do I need to buy, how do I need to save my money, or how should I invest my money? But I'm not automatically going to say, I need to create a job, and I know I'm not a business owner now. The plan by the end of the year is to become a business owner and become more business minded in regards to certain things. But I'm still not saying to myself, I'm going to create a job. With today's technology, and just think of yourself, putting yourself in the position of being a CEO of a small or big company. Is the first thought of the CEO or the small business owner is, I'm going to create a job? No. The thought is, am I going to be able to pay the bills? Am I going to be able to make payroll? What corners can I cut? Still have a great product to sell to my customers and keep my customers happy so that in order for them to continuously buy from my business, but if I can have a great product and not have to worry about having the services of personnel, obviously, I'm going to do that because that affects my bottom line. Because as business owners have one thing, and I think we all can agree on this, their bottom line doesn't make them unethical, doesn't make them wrong. I'm not saying I'm anti-capitalism on any level because I'm pro-capitalism. I'm just saying, let's just be realistic about it. The media, whether it's Fox News or CNN, are going to tell you, well, no, we're going to cut taxes, so that's going to create jobs. Because I'm sure that's what all the business people are thinking. I'm going to create a job, No. They're going to be like, okay, where can I invest this money? And if I could do this without having to pay somebody, I'm going to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the American way. I think that's awesome. I just think all the nonsense that gets involved, because let's just keep constantly arguing with each other, not have a civilized conversation with one another so we can agree to disagree and move forward. It's like, no, let's be realistic about it. If you make extra money, the first thing isn't, I need to create a job. Jobs are created because of demand. They're not created because of a person out of the goodness of their heart wants to create a job. No, it's created because of the demand. But in today's world, with all the technology that we have, technology is replacing jobs at a fast rate. And that's another discussion that I don't think is talked about enough, about how technology is taking away jobs. First it was jobs are going overseas. Now jobs are just being taken away from people in general. So it's like, once again, and the jobs of the future are not the jobs of today, and the darn sure not the jobs of the past. So the jobs of the future are going to be more technical, and depending on the workforce that's going to be needed for it, it's not going to be as many people, and the people who are the quote unquote owners of those specific companies, the first thing isn't going to be I need to create a job. It's going to be how can I sell my product in the most efficient, timely manner, and let me have this $1 billion company, but I'm only employing 10 to 15 people. And the more money I make, I'm not going to say, well, I need to create a couple of jobs to stimulate the American economy. No, you're thinking, how can you sell your product in the most cheap and efficient manner? Nothing wrong with that. That's the American way. But the first thing isn't, I'm going to create a job, and it's like, I get into this because when it comes to the U.S. economy, and most, westernized economies, we all know that it's based on consumer spending. If people aren't spending money, the economy can go kaput. Businesses lose money. If people aren't in debt, the economy goes kaput. The banks aren't making, and the government's not making enough money off interest, because if people aren't, spending a ridiculous amount of money on their credit cards, they're not making money, and the thing, a lot of reasons why especially the area I live in is the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I reside in Northern Virginia. One of the biggest reasons why so many people in this area and areas like this area are in so much debt is because they live by the mantra, make more, spend more, period. It's an obsession with looking a specific way and living in a specific neighborhood and having a specific car and all this stuff, and there's not a mindset of, well, how can I'm making more? How can I invest more in order for me to make more? Or how could I make more and create a business that's going to benefit me more in the long run? But the first thing is, it's not, I need to create a job. It's, spend more. But, with Amazon and websites like that, not many more jobs are being created when it comes to consumer spending at the rate that it used to, because as you know, a lot of retail stores are closing down now because of companies like Amazon. Hey, I'm guilty of myself. I utilize Amazon on a regular basis. Like most people, I don't want to go to a store. I was in Las Vegas last week for my birthday, had a great time, went to a mall, couldn't wait to get out of there. So like, if only I could have just not forgot those specific items and I could just order it off Amazon while I was at home. It saves time and headaches. But anyways, they end up in debt because they buy these ginormous houses that they do not need and these nice cars that they do not need. But hey, that's the American way. Buy a bunch of stuff you don't need in order to impress a bunch of people you don't like. Like I said, the prioritization of money. Do you really have a mentality to say, I'm going to make more money, I'm going to get more money from tax cuts, therefore I'm going to create more jobs? No, that's not your mentality. That's not a job owner. That's not a company owner's mentality. It's, how can I impress the stock? How do I make the stockholders happy? How do I pay the bills? How do I make payroll? That's what it is. It's not, how can I give my workers more bonuses, and how can I give my workers more raises, because those bonuses and those raises affect your bottom line. Especially when it comes to small businesses, they have it the hardest when it comes to maintaining their business and, keeping it open for more than 20 years. I mean, come on now. It's not easy. So it's just something because at the end of the day, I think most people, especially working people like myself and small business owners, it's like you got to look at your life as a business. You got to consistently evaluate not only the priorities in your life, but the financial situation in your life. What corners can you cut in order for you to survive and be able to save more and invest more, and go from there? You know what I mean? And that's just something to take into consideration, and I bring this topic up because, like I said, what I've learned from the primarily well-to-do in this country throughout the last couple of years is that the mantra needs to be, I make more, I save more, I invest more, period. And I think people in the middle class would be much better if they would try to adapt the theories of the well-to-do, you know, and remember and don't buy the nonsense of I'm making more, so I'm going to create a job. It's not going to happen, you know. And if it does, and if a job or two is created, great. But the mantra is if I can make more money with a company without having to have personnel and cut the overhead, that's what's going to end up happening. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's awesome. That's the American way. You know, we have to work harder in order for us to be realistic about the way things are now and the way things are going to be in the future. But that's just my opinion. Let's just be honest with one another. Let's not worry about the things that separate us as a country. Let's worry about the things that really unite us as a country. So take your belief system, take politics out of the equation. Let's just be human beings and say, hey, this is what it really is. I can respect what your religion is or your non-belief is, and I can respect what your party line is or non-party line is. But guess what? We have a bigger issues to worry about outside of what I've just mentioned. You know, how are we going to be able to create a business? How are we going to be the kids and the people of the future going to be able to get a job? Because the jobs of the future, once again, are not being talked about. You know, the jobs of the past are consistently being talked about because you have a lot of people who are just living in the past. You know, nothing can stay the same forever. There's no time in history where you see things that stay the same forever. I always quote Tupac. It's one of my favorite quotes from Tupac Shakur, a former rapper who passed away years ago. He stated this, and it's one of the realest things I've ever heard. You know, we all grow. Either you evolve or you disappear. And you see it with a lot of places around the United States. They have not evolved. And that's why they're disappearing. You know, and it's sad because even where I grew up in Prince William County had to evolve. It's not the same county that it was when I was a kid. You know, it had to evolve. And if you look at other major cities around the United States and the world, they had to evolve. If they still had the same thinking of the last 20, 30 years, they end up in a place where the economy goes to crap or is barely hanging on by a thread. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, at the end of the day, let's just be honest with one another. We live in a digital age, and with digitalization, more and more jobs are going to be taken away. And let's just worry about focusing on the skill sets of the future, and let's worry about trying to create more businesses. So in order for us to have a better empire and work with one another on a regular basis. So that was my little spill. It's to just, you know, what is your prioritizations when it comes to making more money? What is the first thing that comes to mind? I'd even say, for instance, if you were given $5,000 and you was able to pay off a couple of bills or $20,000, whatever have you, pay off a couple of bills, what would you do after your bills were all paid off? You know, student loans paid off, you know, whatever. You know, that's the thing I'd like to know, because that's to me, that's where the real conversation comes into play. And that's where the real great dialect comes into play. And I think we could move forward and become better individuals if we decided to do that in the future. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It was just going to be a short video. It was something that was on my mind, and figured I'd kick off the first video for the new year. So have a great one.